So let's explore the difference between the dashes, the brackets, and the paired commas. Okay, so how do you know whether to use them? How do you know which one is the appropriate one to be using? So think about these three sentences I'm going to give you now. So Miss Moneypenny, who had travelled from America to England to see James, said the mission was a huge success. Miss Moneypenny, who had travelled from America to see James, said the mission was a huge success. And Miss Moneypenny, who had travelled from America to England to see James, said the mission was a success. What's the difference between those three sentences? The punctuation. Okay, the additional information is still the same, and the use of the brackets, the commas, and the dashes still show where that additional information is. Okay, so the choice of dashes or the brackets or even the commas depends on your importance of that additional information. Okay, so we tend to use brackets when the information is an aside or non-essential to the reader. So it's not information they really have to know about. It's just like we always say, it's extra information. Okay, now we use commas when the information is sort of semi-important. So when it could provide extra information that's valuable. Okay, rather than it just being an opinion of something, it could be a fact stating something. And it's up to you to decide whether you think that reader should or shouldn't know it. And when we use dashes, it's when we want to emphasize that information. Okay, so that's when it's key. It's in a key part of our sentences. So when I've used the dashes when we did one of our writings from last week, that information in the middle, though extra, emphasized the power of what I was trying to get across into that sentence. So why do you think the writer wanted the information between the dashes to be emphasised? So here it says Miss Moneypenny, who had travelled from America to England to see James, said the mission was a huge success. Why do you think that she's emphasised it using those dashes? So the writer might have tried to convey the sense of how important or highly regarded that the mission was. Okay, so because it was a worthwhile mission, someone has made the effort to travel out to see this gentleman to almost update him on the success of their mission, of their story. But equally, it might have been to symbolise the strength of their relationship. Okay, I wouldn't be flying halfway across the world for nobody I really liked. Okay, be it even for a job or for business or for pleasure. So it could have symbolized either one of those things. If we were just to add it into brackets and just took it out, there's no importance. There's nothing to signify that Miss Moneypenny and James know each other really well, or they've been working together really long and they care about each other, because that's just chucked away information. It's just extra. But here it's an integral part of the story because she wants to symbolize something that's very important to them because it's an ongoing relationship. Now, when we use brackets, the information, okay, is information where we can just get rid of it. It's information that isn't necessary, okay? It's not going to make a difference to the outcome of what we're reading or trying to explain. Now, when we use commas, okay, there's a balance of it being an equal priority or equal to being got rid of, okay? So it's something you'd like the reader to know about, okay? So what I want you to do is think about these three sentences here, okay, and think about how the different punctuation would affect the way the sentence is read. So James Bond, who had saved hundreds of lives, was rewarded for a successful mission. So which one of those for you would be the most appropriate punctuation? Okay, and how does each one of those read to you in terms of level of importance? Okay, so just pause the video, just have a think. So what I want you to do now that you've had a think of those sentences, I want you to use that knowledge and I want you to now have a go at doing an activity yourselves. Okay, so you've done one activity on looking at the dashes, but now I've explained the importance of why we use dashes because it's information that we need, okay? It's information that makes a difference and impact on our sentence. I would like you guys to now have a go at doing this on your own, okay? What I'm going to do is I've given you the sheet number 2. Okay, because I think it gives you more examples to allow you to understand how it works. I have attached the sheet 3 if you feel like the second sheet's too easy for you and you want to give yourselves a challenge, okay? But I'm going to leave that one up to you, okay? Because the concept of dashes is the easiest one to always understand. So I want you to pause the video and just go and have a go at doing that worksheet. So that is the end of our lesson. Okay, so we've had a look at the dashes, we've looked at the reason of why they're important and what it is that we symbolise and use them for. Okay, you've been able to explain why we use them in pairs, but you've also been able to explain why we'd use them as an individual one. So for those of you that have had that additional extra challenge on your writing to use a dash or to use your colons or semicolons, now you know how to appropriately be able to use those, and you can start integrating those into your writing more and more. Okay, so well done for having a go at those activities. Tomorrow we're going to be moving on and looking at using colons and semicolons, because I know that's everyone's favourite. I know I've done that quite a lot in my last few lessons. So keep an eye out for tomorrow's video. We're going to have a go at doing those, and it'll be the same setup throughout the week, where you'll do an activity in the middle and you might do an activity at the end, but it's going to be a grammar focused week before we return to school. Okay, so well done for having a go at that, and I'll see you tomorrow.